Season 5 of Law & Order, Organized Crime came to an end this week with both one of the show's most advanced villains, and a multi-season story arc, tied up. After the shocking death of Joe Stabler, Jr., Michael Trotter, at the ending of Law & Order, Organized Crime Season 5, Episode 9, Elliot Stabler, Christopher Maloney, must now make a decision about whether he's going to bring down Julian Emery, Tom Paine by the book or outside the law. In the fast-paced and intense Season 5 finale, Stabler employs Bobby Reyes, Rick Gonzalez, and Kyle Vargas, Tate Ellington, to help him track down Emery and decode Joe's last message to Elliot. Elliot finds himself towing the lines between law and vigilante justice multiple times while navigating his grief and anger, and before the feds can take Emery out from underneath him for a better deal, Joe's final act is revealed. With a treasure trove of information collected by Joe against Emery, the leader of Redcoat was finally taken down and into justice. In doing so, it preserved Elliot's soul without sliding to the edge of darkness in a way that would irrevocably change him in Law & Order, Organized Crime Season 6. Joe Stabler's final act takes down Julian Emery. A brother's redemption seals Emery's fate for good. Chris Maloney as Det Elliot Stabler, Tom Paine as Julian Emery, David Holloway, Peacock. With the death of his brother in the heartbreaking Law & Order Season 5, Episode 9, Elliot made it his mission to hunt down and find Julian Emery by any means necessary. Once he finds him, things don't quite go to plan, as the FBI attempts to intercept Emery for their counter-terrorism needs. Vargas' uncovering of the information from the corrupted flash drive allowed the Organized Crime Control Bureau to bring him to justice, but also allows Elliot to avenge his brother's death, using the law to his advantage. With the discovery of Joe's Police Academy paperwork by Randall, Dean Norris, the brothers learn that Joe worked to turn his life around and be on the right side of the law, but never got the opportunity to do so. Joe's final act of data collection inside the Redcoat organization proved that Joe was more than just someone who wanted to be a police officer. He was a true Stabler, putting his life on the line to bring the worst of the worst to justice. Elliot Stabler almost crossed a dangerous line. Why he didn't? McKenna's sentiments give Stabler the reminder he needed. At the end of Season 5, Episode 9, we see Elliot fighting the forces of darkness inside of him after Joe's murder, having to make the decision as to how he'll find Julian Emery. Although Tim McKenna, Jason Patrick, initially seemed to be the catalyst for dark, he ends up providing the most profound statement of the season finale, snapping Elliot out of his darkness momentarily in order to follow the law. Revenge doesn't bring light, McKenna tells Elliot. Just a different kind of darkness. Although we see flashes of his vigilantism throughout the episode, including a rather rough interaction with some of Emery's lower-level people, Elliot stays within the bounds of the law in his quest for Emery. Even as he captured Emery at the loading dock, he made the decision not to sacrifice himself and his morality, even when the choice was clear to avenge his brother's murder. Randall's plea to Elliot explained. The brothers become closer after another loss. Christopher Maloney as Det Elliot Stabler, Dean Norris as Randall Stabler, Virginia Sherwood at Peacock. With another devastating loss afflicting the Stabler family, Randall and Elliot share another emotionally connected moment as the two navigate their relationship in the aftermath of Joe's death. Randall and Elliot have never been close, but the events of this season have thawed their ice, and as Randall begs Elliot to come home, the interaction reveals a deep fear that Elliot's pursuit of Emery could bring upon his death. It's an emotional moment between the two, with Randall's initial anger giving way to genuine concern for Elliot as he tells him to give up on the search and just come home. Randall and Elliot's relationship has grown to be a more mature, understanding one since Law & Order, Organized Crime Season 4, and Randall's plea underscored the quiet love the brothers share, in spite of the pain and anger they've shared throughout their lives. How the Law & Order, Organized Crime Season 5 finale sets up Season 6. Cleans the slate for Elliot Stabler and the OCCB. Danielle Moan Truitt as Sergeant Iona Bell, Ainsley Seeger as Jet, Rick Gonzalez as Det Bobby Reyes, Mariska Hargitay as Captain Olivia Benson, Christopher Maloney as Det Elliot Stabler, Tate Ellington as Vargas Virginia Sherwood at Peacock. With the end of the Redcoat storyline and Julian Emery now in custody, Elliot and the Organized Crime Control Bureau are now open to take on new cases and organizations should the show be renewed for a sixth season. With several character arcs still outstanding, including the status of Isabella Spezzano, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, and the always present and potential return of Richard Wheatley, Dylan McDermott, the OCCB will be sure to have plenty on its plate through the potential Law & Order, Organized Crime Season 6. The show's move to Peacock has proven to be a successful one in terms of story presentation and narrative, bringing a darker edge to the Law & Order universe while tackling tougher, more violent criminal activity. Whether it was successful in terms of viewership translation remains to be seen, but the creative gamble the showrunners took was a successful one, and provided an exciting and thrilling season, laying the groundwork for an even more intense Season 6. Does the Organized Crime Season 5 finale connect to SVU or Law and Order? The opportunities are endless for crossover potential. Chris Maloney as Det Elliot Stabler, Peter Scanavino as Ada Dominic, Sonny Carisi Jr. Virginia Sherwood a Peacock. The Law and Order, Organized Crime Season 5 finale contained mostly tie-ups of the major storylines from the season, including the ending of Redcoat and Julian Emery. While the episode was mostly contained inside its own world, and there was no outward connection to either sister show, the echoes of both Law and Order SVU can still be felt through the show's DNA, with several character crossovers throughout Law and Order Organized Crime Season 5, including appearances by Olivia Benson, Mariska Hargitay, and Sonny Carisi, Peter Scanavino. The opportunities are endless for additional crossover potential between brands. With the return of Amanda Rollins, Kelly Giddish, to the full-time SVU squad this upcoming season, plus the ubiquity of the intersection between organized crime and the cases of the Special Victims Unit and the 27th Precinct, it's an exciting possibility to think of the characters assisting in darker, grittier story arcs on organized crime.